everyone, I'm Hannah and I'm an aspiring illustrator. I wanted to make a goal this 2026 to start uploading content based on my illustrations. So today we're going to be going over my 2025 sketchbook and some of my art pieces. So here it is. I'm just using the Master's Touch Mixed Media book, and I actually really liked this one. I put this through a lot of heavy gouache and watercolor and paint, and it withstood it pretty well. So if anyone's wondering, I would recommend this one. And here she is in all her glory. So obviously, just like with most sketchbook tours, this is not a compilation of finished pieces, although I will show a few of them along in here. There's a lot of thumbnails in here that I've done completed artwork. So I will show some of those at the end, along with maybe some digital pieces. But here we go. This first piece I did with some ArtX acrylic markers, and I had a very limited color amount, which I'm sure a lot of you could relate with. So I was trying to play with the depth and color usage there. And this is a master copy of a painting that I think I just found on Pinterest. And I think it turned out okay. Just a little prairie farm girl and some cows in the back. Nothing too fancy, but yeah. This next page, I'm not a fan of, and that's okay. Once again, just trying to figure out these markers and how to blend them. I think the dress and shawl turned out fine, but I think her face looks like Voldemort, so yeah. Anyways, just some llamas. No, nothing to note there. I really like this page. I think this page turned out really well, actually. I think the colors on the shadows of the old man that I did, I really like. And I thought the skin color looked cool. I'm kind of figuring it out. This other person, I was trying to do different skin tones with the markers. And looking back on it, I think it looks fine for practice. At the time, I hated it though. And then just above that, I have a little character I drew, a little plushie that I crocheted for my nephew. So that's fun. Yeah. Now, I was thinking, maybe I want to start illustrating food. And then I tried that and I was like, nope. So this next page, I'm mad. I need to use my fixative spray more to stop graphite from smearing, but I'm lazy, so I didn't. But I love this illustration. I actually love her expression and how the eyes turned out. I love it. And then this other one in pen, I liked the reference though, so I tried it again in graphite. That one turned out a little bit better, but that's okay. This other master copy is of a Sargent painting. Surprise, surprise. He's one of my favorite painters. I'm so original. But anyways, yeah, I really like this one. It's simple, nothing crazy, but I think it turned out well. Then here I was just practicing drawing some buildings or some locations and scenery. I'm a lot more used to just drawing people and animals, so I was trying to break out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I think these turned out pretty good, pretty decent for a sketchbook. Here's like the little lobster bay area, and then a lighthouse scene again with those acrylic markers. Still just trying to get used to the colors. I think I like it more now than I did back then because I don't know, have as much colors to make it as detailed. Surprise, surprise, another Sargent master copy. This was my first time trying to do a realistic portrait in acrylic paint, and I was really trying to challenge myself and mix out the skin tones, and I think as its own piece it looks great. Like, I think I am really proud of it, but if you put it next to the master copy that it was supposed to look like, it definitely does not look like it. So I do have room for growth, and that's okay. It was a fun experiment. I love the way that her hair turned out, and I think her eyes turned out really good too. Those are pretty fun to look at. This next page is just another little sketch of mine. I was doing some family history that day, and I saw an old photograph, and I was like, that's really cool. I should try drawing that. Kind of to connect me to my ancestors a bit, I guess. I don't know. But I think it turned out pretty good for a quick sketch. Once again, the graphite smeared everywhere. And this is actually my fifth great grandmother, one of those ladies. And so that's her family. Cool beans. A lot of these were done while I was still working, and I was trying to just draw at least one thing a day. And so this day I decided to draw my water bottle because there's nothing else that I could think of. And it's a pretty mid drawing. That's okay. And I was trying to do an art market last winter, so I was just sketching where I put the booth. Didn't work out, and that's okay. This next page, if you are LDS or go to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you'll know about like Jacob 5 and the parable of the olive tree. So I was just doing little sketches to see what I would do as an illustration for that. And I really like some of these actually. I think I want to make this one or that one an official illustration. That'd be cool. And so then on this next page, I was expanding on that more with color, once again with those acrylic markers, and that tree turned out so good. I just wanted to continue it. So if you'll see these next few pages, I think the next like 3 or 4 spreads are going to be the same day because it just, the art markers like clicked for me. So here we have it. It was August 1st, I guess. This one reminds me of like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter. Then another little like olive tree type one. I think this one's my favorite. I just love the blues in the background and the gradient that they made. So pretty. And then this next one, I think that turned out pretty cool too. Yeah, I don't know. I think just like I was saying, today it finally clicked, or this day, that I know how to use these markers. So then I was like, let me draw an animal. And actually, I think this is one of my favorite pages in my book. I just drew a random rooster that I saw on Pinterest, and I had so much fun. I was learning how to blend the colors, how to add texture to the feathers, that I drew another one, and I think that turned out really funny. On to the next page, which is still the same day. Now this duck drawing, chef's kiss. I am actually so proud of this one. I think just understanding the lighting and how to use the markers that I had, it turned out really, really well, and I'm super proud of it. The reference photo had his feet behind rocks, so if they look weird, it's because it's supposed to be behind rocks anyways. Yeah. I don't know, fun. I love ducks. I love drawing ducks. It was a fun little drawing. Then next I have this little mouse with some berries, and I'm pretty sure all these animals I'm using were Pinterest reference photos. And I think this one turned out really cute too. I think the berries were fun, and his fur looked really cute and fluffy. Then we have some lovebirds. I think they turned out good. Nothing much to say. But I really like the fish. I think they look a little more graphic with the different pops of color. And I think that was a lot of fun to do. Then this next drawing, I love the teapot. I think the teapot actually looks really good with the colors that I had. Super proud of it. I wish I didn't do the dragon or the Chinese lettering because I don't speak Chinese. I could have just written something random there. I can read Korean, but that's definitely not the same thing. And so, anyways, I think the pot turned out really cool though. Really fun. That was a good challenge to do. And then the next page, I just did a little goldfish. I think he turned out really cute as well. Nothing much to say, other than I was loving those markers. Then I was doing some pen sketches of people, once again, from Pinterest. I shall stop saying that because I think that's where most of us artists get our reference photos. I do need to start doing this out in the wild, though, although that scares me. But I was wishing that I exaggerated the angle of his hips and his shoulders a little bit more. I think that's an edit I can make next time. I thought she turned out good. I thought the granny on this page turned out pretty fire, but the rest are kind of messy. I don't know. These aren't supposed to be anything crazy good, just good little studies. This is probably one of my least favorite spreads of the book. Little couple on a subway, and I just noticed her head was way too large in comparison to him, and I decided not to finish it, and that's okay. I think this was in acrylic paint, and this was just a lake that we were staying at that weekend. It's not my favorite piece. I think I got kind of lazy with it, and so it just looks like an elementary school drawing, but that's fine. This next page, however, I love. And so I was trying to draw some biblical animals that I can maybe do for a sticker sheet. So here, as you can see, I did the lion with the lamb theme. So I did like both a male lion and a female lion, which I think is cool. I think they give off kind of different vibes, but both very good. And I want to do a more official drawing of the female lion because I did the male lion, which you'll see later. So fun. And then here I did some watercolor with Prismacolor color pencils. I love these whales. I think they turned out so good. And they remind me of the story of Jonah, which is why I was wanting to practice them. And then I did this little lamb, which if I redid this, I wouldn't have added the greens there or the oranges, but that's okay. I think it turned out pretty cute regardless. So that was fun. Oop, I guess I skipped a page. I haven't drawn a color or a picture in just color pencils, like seriously, for pretty much 8 years. So I was wanting to challenge myself, and I actually think I killed it on this first one. I think the amount of depth I got in her face, even in the shadow side, looks really good. Although anatomy-wise, the light hitting the other muscle in her neck is not right because it should be there. But that's okay. That's something I'll make sure I pay attention to later. And then this next chick here, I was really proud of because the expression she's making is not the expression in the reference photo. I was just reading a book, and that character was going through a hard time, and she reminded me of her. So yeah, I think it turned out okay. That same day, those turned out so well, I wanted to do another one, and I did not like this one, so I stopped drawing halfway. There's a theme here. I don't finish things, which kind of sucks because looking at it now, I think it actually looks really cool and really pretty. Of course, the hand is pretty messed up, but that shouldn't have stopped me from doing the rest of it. This next drawing was of a statue that I saw at a park in Richfield, Utah, and the time of day that I was painting it was like the worst time. There was no shadows the way the sun was hitting on it. And then when there was, they kept moving. And I'm still not used to painting things in public or plein air painting. I need to practice a lot. So I'm not thrilled with this one, but that's okay. This next segment is just a lot of thumbnails. I have decided I want to do a lot of religious art, so a lot of this was about like heavenly reunions, whether with loved ones or stuff like that. Yeah, I think these are cute. I don't think I've actually turned a single one into a full illustration yet, which I need to because I think they're cute designs. More like ministering of angels type stuff. My thumbnails are really rough, but my quick rough style for thumbnails is actually what inspired my new style, which you might see later on. This page, I also, along with religious art, I want to do like mental health art, and I have OCD, so I was trying to figure out thumbnails for a piece describing what OCD feels like. I don't know, it's a little darker than I like to make, but sometimes that helps people connect with it, so we'll see. And then here I have some thumbnails for like a Jonah and the whale idea, which you'll see more later on. And then here we have, I was trying to play with values in the limited colors I had. Obviously, the grays didn't turn out that well, so I tried it again in green. Think it got a little bit better, but nothing crazy. Anyway, so I did it again, and this time I added some Prismacolor color pencil. I think it looks okay. Still pretty mid. But this one, oh my gosh, this one I was really proud of. It turned out so pretty. I just think she looks so soft and elegant, and I'm a big fan of that one. So yeah. This next page, I think coming up is one of my favorites. This was just the thumbnails for it. I was going through a really hard time mentally, and I wanted to illustrate more of what it's like to have, I don't know, like the Savior give you a blessing, whether it's of healing or comfort. Because I felt him a lot throughout my journey with OCD and different mental health things, and I just wanted to create something that illustrated how close he was to me and the strength I received and the peace I received from him. and I thought this turned out so good. Now, the sizes of the hands are a bit off, but that's okay. I'm working on a painting of this right now, so we shall see if I ever finish it. I really want to, though. Yeah, I was just pointing out how I didn't know what to do with my hand there, but I fixed it in the final one. Okay, and then so here is the other thumbnails of that Jonah in the Ark. And here I have a print of that illustration. I'll probably also show my digital one because this was done digitally. I was testing out Gelato and their print on demand. And unfortunately, both of the times I tried to get a print from them, they were scuffed up, which I'll kind of show you. And so also this is a matte print, so it's kind of hard to see the depth of the illustration. But overall, I'm really happy with it. Okay, so this next page, just a little watercolor and pencil. Lilies of the Valley, nothing too special there. Just thought that'd be fun. Here's that watercolor and, again, colored pencil drawing of the Lion and the Lamb. And I think this one turned out so cute. I have hopes one day of being able to make like a semi-translucent sticker sheet so people can use those stickers in their scriptures, and like it overlays the words but you can still see them through. And kind of the same thing with this. I loved this lamb. This is purely color pencil, and I had a lot of fun with it. Whenever you're drawing a white object in color pencil, it's fun to see how you can play with the shadows and stuff using different colors but still make it look like white or whatever. So that was fun. This next page, just another Pinterest reference photo. I love Renaissance art and the paintings back then. I love how soft the faces are, and so I was trying to just sketch that out, and I think it turned out pretty well. The hands are a little bit too big. I feel like usually I make hands too small, and then I'll overcompensate and fix them, and then they're just proportionally too large. But that's okay. That's just something to work on. Here's a snail that I did not finish because I think, one, I did not have time, and two, I just didn't enjoy it enough to get back to it. Here are some Halloween doggies that I designed for my first test Etsy launch. I wanted to do some Halloween doggy designs, and so I'll show you some pictures of what I sold there. But yeah, I think they're really cute. I like the simplicity of the design, and as much fun as I had making these, I still think I'm going to focus on other art to sell for the future. But these were a lot of fun. Here's some more. I love this page. Here's some more doggies, but in a very thin, just pen. But I love the way that that looks. I think that the shading looks really fun. And yeah, cute. Here was a little practice, I think, trying to draw the Savior holding a sheep, and I used a reference picture on Pinterest. I didn't like the way it turned out. Here I was testing out some of my I was testing out something. I can't remember. But this is kind of the new children's book style illustration that I'm going to be going with for a lot of my religious artwork. I think it's cute and simple, and yeah. Now here, this is just more thumbnails. I wanted to play with the idea of as if Christ saved you from the depths and you're safe on shore and he pulled you out of water. So you're both kind of dripping wet. And here is that piece. This was done with gouache and color pencils, and I think it turned out really well, actually. I had a lot of fun making it. There's a lot of texture in the background. I think I added maybe a little too much color pencil in the water, but that's okay. Overall, I really like this piece. I like the water details dripping from everyone, and I like his halo. But yeah, I know the border's messy on this one. I got some washi tape to help with that. But yeah, anyways, that was that. This next drawing was just supposed to be a simple practice day of gouache, and I was just doing a candle image that I found, and I really liked it, and I had fun. I kind of kept going. It wasn't supposed to be as realistic, but I enjoyed it, and so I kept going. This next painting is based on the phrase, does a bear poop in the woods? So yeah, if you ever ask anyone for anything and the answer is obviously yes, it'll be, does a bear poop in the woods? And my husband says that all the time, and he requested this, and I thought it turned out pretty cute, actually. It was a lot of fun to make. Here's just some sketches of our doggy. He's an Irish doodle, and this was actually before we got him, but when we found out we were getting him, and I was just so excited that I had to keep sketching. Here are some more thumbnails that I made. I was originally trying to do a new piece for each day in November, and that didn't end up working out. I worked on a larger piece towards the end that took a few weeks to make, and that's okay. But I'm going to start working on that one next. I think I like that a lot. And yeah, a lot of cute ideas. And then I also designed some ornaments for the upcoming, or I guess this past Christmas. This next page, you can kind of see where my new style starts. I'm not the happiest with this illustration, but I think it still turned out really cute. I love the sheep. I don't know. It just still looks kind of sloppy to me. I'm still trying to figure out the balance between correct textures and authentic, like, childhood supplies that make it look fun and versus just looking sloppy. So yeah, but pretty cute. The savior holding the sheep. Very fun. And this next one, I was trying to do a bookmark for each of these. The first one I'm actually a big fan of. I just did the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and I think this one turned out really, really fun. I love all the textures. I love how derpy the fish look. And then this next one I'm not a big fan of. This is a play on this drawing that I did. And so it's kind of like a follow-up second piece of how we're the pottery after Christ has put us back together, to play on the kintsugi as well, and how when he puts us together, it's with his light, so we become more like him each time we break and he binds us together. But I just don't think it turned out that well. I think it turned out kind of sloppy, and that's okay. I would like to redo this one, possibly digitally. Now that we're done reviewing what was in here, I noticed that a lot of my style of art that I'm doing right now, like I mentioned earlier, is not in this book because I did most of it digitally. So I'm just going to show a few of my digital ones up and, I don't know, yap about them a bit, and you guys can let me know what you think. And so here are some of my art pieces that were not included in that sketchbook. So these 3 were all digital, and this next one was originally canvas, but I took a photo of it. And so yeah, I don't have much to say about these, all that I hope you guys like them, and thank you guys so much. Sorry, editing Hannah here. I just wanted to say I'm new to this and I'm new to editing, and so if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and let me know what you guys want to see in the future, because I do want to try doing this a lot more in 2026. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.